Namaste, my friends, and welcome to Monday Morning Meditation. My name is Kathleen Osmond. Today we're going to focus on the spaces between. An interesting, different view to use feeling as opposed to thinking into spaces. Today we're going to focus within our bodies, using our bodies as the focus today. But you can use this particular practice to move your focus to spaces anywhere you perceive them. So, grab your blankie if you're like me and blankies are your thing to be comfortable during meditation. A little bit of water and a quiet corner, and come join me for Monday morning meditation. Good morning. Just waiting for our video. There we go. Excellent. Let me just make sure we have power, just in case. Even better. Good morning and welcome to Monday morning meditation. As I get myself settled and comfortable, I am hoping that everyone had a wonderful weekend. It was beautifully sunny here yesterday. So I hope you got a chance to get outside and get some of that much needed vitamin D from the sun. Today, we are at week 13 of our meditation practice. Hand claps for everyone that has stayed and worked along with me. Today, we're going to work a little bit on what's called the spaces in between. Let's start with our regular start process in that our housekeeping. Make sure you have a comfy place to sit that is quiet, preferably away from all of your many responsibilities and things that could distract. For me, it's this room. I come here, I practice here, I teach here. Maybe for you, it's a small space in a corner, just somewhere where you can be undisturbed for the next 20 to 25 minutes. Possibly in a chair, possibly on the floor, or for me, my fancy bolster. Not fancy, but it's mine and I love it. So typically for meditation, I like to sit in cross-leg pose, easy cross-leg pose, which is where your legs are crossed in your lap. My favorite source of comfort during meditation is a blanket. So I like to put a blanket over my legs. Perhaps for you, it's a sweatshirt, maybe some socks. Maybe you're a blanket person too. Find that spot that's comfy for you. A little bit of water is always a good thing to have in case you get thirsty. And we're gonna get right into it today. The spaces between. So let's start by sitting up nice and tall and roll those shoulders up towards the ears and squeeze them together as they roll down the back. Let's do 2 more. Inhale up, maybe close the eyes. Exhale, squeeze and lower. And one last time, inhaling those shoulders up, exhale, squeeze, and let them settle into a comfortable position. Hands for this particular meditation are whatever works for you. You can have your hands in Gyan Mudra, first finger and thumb touching, on your lap, backs of the palms on your lap. You can put your hands together like this. I know a lot of people like to do that. You can even leave your hands in prayer position if that's comfortable for you. Find the spot that works, or just let them sit in your lap, whatever is the most comfortable. So let's close down the eyes, sitting nice and tall so we can allow the energy to move up and down the back, up the spine. In Kundalini, we move energy from the lower chakras up towards the top. Now this is not a Kundalini meditation, it's just a thing I always think about. We always want to be nice and tall so we can move that energy, okay? So eyes closed. Turning the focus now to the breath. Following it as it goes in through the nose and down into the body, bringing fresh air, fresh energy into all of the cells and tissues. And as we exhale, taking out all that no longer serves. Just gently following that flow in and out. Today we're looking to experience the spaces in between. And as we continue to breathe and follow the breath, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our meditation today. Space is a wonderful container. The element and emphasis inside which all other elements exist. Physicists call it the field in which particles move. Energetically aware beings refer to it as the ether. The ancient yogis referred to it as akasha. We generally don't pay all kinds of attention to space as an actual element. However, we've all had experiences where we've been involved with it, or where it played a key role, even though we didn't necessarily recognize it for the part of that experience. An example of this is our interactions in nature. We might hike to a secluded spot on a high hill, or maybe even a mountain. Look out and become aware of the immensity of the space that surrounds individual things. The openness of the fields, perhaps in our view. Maybe it's the depth of the drop from the top where we stand to the bottom of a crevice. When we take that moment to notice, that's when we feel that sense of expansiveness. We shift out of our regular three-dimensional view of the world into a wider awareness, into that multi-dimensional experience, that all-encompassing state of being. Now the question changes. It's no longer whether we're capable of becoming aware of spaces in between things. Clearly we know these spaces occur. The question really is whether we can build our awareness of that space. There are many meditation traditions that suggest we most certainly can. Our practice today will help guide us to explore the spaces in between. Using our own body as the proverbial playground today. Taking a moment to just note it's not necessary to follow the coming instructions exactly. My suggestion is to think of them like invitations to your mind. These invitations will encourage us to explore new modalities of awareness to the phenomenon of space. There's a chance you may be tempted to revert back to analyzing space in a more traditional linear way. It's a bit of a commitment, so let's give it a shot. To see if we can guide our awareness to feel as opposed to thinking about your experience. I'll give you an example. Perhaps you're guided to imagine the space in between your eyes. Here's where I would try and feel that space. Like it is, maybe 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters, as opposed to thinking and using that traditional measurement. Let's see how it feels in between the eyes. So using that sense of feeling and experiencing rather than thinking about, I think my eyes are too far apart, or it's approximately this much in between my eyes. Okay, we're going to move to the field today. The optimal response is whatever feeling comes most naturally to you. We're trying to sense our responses here instead of actually thinking about them. We're going to tap into our feeling mind instead of our thinking or analytical mind. Similar to last week, no physical objects to focus on or anchor to. However, I'm pretty confident that by now you've found that sense of focus all your own. So let's give it a try. Taking a moment to bring your attention back to present. Know that you're sitting comfortably. Maybe readjust. Sit bones back and forth a little bit on the seat. Pushing them down into the earth, letting the shoulders fall away, and reclosing the eyes, moving our attention back to the breath. We'll take 3 slow breaths, following the air as it comes in through the nostrils or mouth, down into the body, and exhale, release the air out again. Gently soften the belly on each exhale. Noticing the movement of the torso while you breathe. And now we'll let that breath set into its natural feel and rhythm. This is where we let go of any efforts to focus. As we continue to breathe, imagine the space inside your nostrils. As we breathe in, we feel the air go in through the nostrils, imagining that space there. Now let's travel through the nostrils up to imagine the space behind the eyes. Just what you feel here, or what you imagine. Try not to think, but more to feel. Moving from our eyes to consider the space between our temples, the volume of space inside our cheeks. Now let's move to the space inside our ears. Perhaps considering the distance between one ear and the other. What does the space feel like there? Now let's expand to the entire region of our head and face. The volume of space we feel there. Using our feeling mind. Now let's slowly drift down to the space between the underside of our chin and our shoulders. Moving now to imagine the volume of space inside our throat and in our necks. Feeling all that space there, moving your attention right into the neck. You're feeling attention. Here, as you inhale, imagine filling the neck space with air, and then following that air out on the exhale. We're noticing here the air filling and passing through the space. What does that space feel like in the time after we've exhaled and before we inhale? Does it feel different? Let's transition now down, moving into the space inside the lungs. And again, on the inhale, imagine filling them with air. And then on the exhale, feeling the breath drain from the lungs. The lungs fill with space between the exhale and the inhale. Can you feel that space? Now let's travel down to imagine the distance between each outer edge of our rib cage. Imagining our stomach and the volume of space there. Taking a moment now to consider our organs and the way they too are permeated with space. Drifting down a little further to this pelvis. All the space that bony structure contains. Now let's move to imagine the bones themselves. Do they seem dense and hard? They are actually filled with space. Let's take that moment to imagine the space within our bones. That part containing bone marrow, the spine, and the spaces between the vertebrae. And now extending our awareness to our entire body. Take a moment to contemplate arms. The space you feel there. Legs crossed this morning likely, but legs. Hands and feet. Imagining the feeling and the volume of space within us. Now imagining that our entire body is composed of atoms and matter which indeed it is, since atoms are predominantly composed of space, we too are mostly space. Now let's take a moment to expand our awareness beyond our bodies to the room that we're in. Take a moment to consider the spaces between where you currently sit and other objects in the room. Taking a few breaths, imagining the space within us as well as the space surrounding us. Continuing to breathe as we just feel into the spaces. Wherever you're drawn to be is perfectly fine. Sit in that space, feeling the space. Perhaps even breathing into that space. Should it be inside the body? Or breathing out into that space? Should it be something outside of your body? And now slowly bringing your awareness back towards the breath, towards the feeling of breath coming in through the nostrils, down into the spaces in the throat and the lungs, filling the body with fresh prana, fresh energy. And on the exhale, the air circulating back up through the lungs, through the space in the throat, and out the space in the nostrils. In and out. Concentrating solely on the flow of breath to bring our focus back to the body. Breathe in. And breathe out. In and out. Now that we're aware of the in and out flow of the breath, let's slowly expand our awareness outside of the body to the room around you. Okay to continue to have your eyes closed here. Using our 5 senses, listening for the sounds, the scents, the feeling of your body, possibly cross-legged on your mat. Maybe your clothes against your body. Let's gently wiggle our fingers and toes, still in our seated position, but a little bit of a wiggle. And we'll drop the chin to the chest. Slowly open the eyes. And when you're ready, raising your head. Welcome back. Coming to the end of week 13 on our meditation journey. I am again the broken record for those of you who actually know what a record is. I extend my weekly invitation to spend a bit of time sitting in silence, using any of the practices that we've tried to date, whatever resonates with you. Maybe you have one that you like particularly. Use it. Leave me a comment as you do, because I would like to know which one resonates well with you. Maybe it's one we haven't tried and we can try it in a future broadcast. If you haven't tried any, or you can't find one that sits well with you, just try sitting for a moment in a quiet place. Maybe it's the place that you're in right now for our meditation practice today. Walk and breathe. You'll see on the Facebook page, Christine, she's out there all the time, enjoying nature, being outside in it. What a wonderful place to stop and take a breath. Notice the space. Kelly too, out with her beautiful dog, out in the space, outside, enjoying nature. Wonderful thing, that connection to nature. Take an opportunity and try it. Maybe you can't get outside. Find a new way to experience those chores using the 5 senses. My favorite one to use always is laundry, because I seem to do all kinds of laundry. I live with 2 adult males, but still, all kinds of laundry. Hi, Tara. It was nice to have you today. Thank you for coming and joining us. Laundry, dishes, you name the chore, vacuuming. Experience it a new way. Use the senses. They were given to us. Let's use them. Spending time each day in a mindfully focused way. Even if it is focusing on chores, do it. It's so good for you. Now, to close our meditation practice for today, let's bring those hands together. Little bit of a rub. Sitting nice and tall, we'll set them at heart center. Fill the lungs with one great big fresh breath. In and exhale. Namaste, my friends. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source, and I salute that source in you. Let's work together for unity and love. My favorite quote, Mahatma Gandhi. Have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next Monday for another Monday morning meditation, my friends. Looks like it could be another sunny one today. You can see the sun coming across the face here as I try and get a bit of vitamin D before I take the dog out. Enjoy your day and your week, and I hope to see you next week for another Monday morning meditation. Lots going on in the Facebook group, so check it out. And I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you for joining me for Monday morning meditation. I hoped you enjoyed the spaces between. Very interesting, different way to feel into space, wherever you may find it. Experiment with it. Find some different places where you can feel into the space. I hope you enjoy your week. Please take a moment to like the video, hit the bell, be subscribed. Check out our community Facebook group, Strength and Mobility with Creative Soul Yoga. Fall back into yoga basics. All kinds of free content in there, all kinds of wonderful teachers offering their wares for free. We have some really good classes this week. We have some Valentine's. It's getting close to Valentine's Day here when this particular video was recorded. Doing some crafts with the kids this weekend for Valentine's Day. And we've got all sorts of other things available for you to try. So check out the link below to the Facebook group and join us. And I hope to see you again next Monday for another Monday morning meditation. Namaste, my friends. I'm Kathleen Osmond.